Nigeria is at a crossroads. We are facing rising poverty, unemployment, insecurity, and a cost of living crisis. But we are not the first country to face such difficult challenges and win. China, under Deng Xiaoping, transformed from a poor, stagnant economy into a global powerhouse in just a few decades. We at Alliance for Economic Research and Ethics believe there are powerful lessons Nigeria can adapt from that experience. Not copy blindly, but wisely adapt to our own reality. Deng Xiaoping was not driven by ideology, he was driven by results. His famous phrase was, "Cross the river by filling the stones." That means, start small, test policies, learn quickly, scale what works. China used special economic zones as laboratories for reform, places where new rules, incentives, and investment models were tried and refined. Nigeria can do the same, pilot reforms in specific sectors and states. Use data and feedback, not politics and guesswork, to adjust policies. Pragmatism, not pride, should guide our decisions. China's first big reforms began in the countryside. They gave farmers more control over their land, raised prices paid for their produce, removed rigid, inefficient controls. The result? A surge in food production and a massive reduction in poverty. For Nigeria, agriculture and agribusiness must be at the center of our reform agenda, from subsistence farming to commercial farming, from exporting raw crops to processing and value addition, from rural poverty to rural productivity and jobs. Agriculture, if well supported, can employ millions, stabilize communities, and reduce hunger. China turned its large labor force into an asset by becoming a global manufacturing and export hub. Nigeria must now move beyond oil. That means investing in manufacturing, agribusiness, digital technology, and the creative economy. Fixing power, transport, ports, and broadband so businesses can compete. Equipping our young people with skills from vocational trades to tech, engineering, and entrepreneurship. We must aim to produce more of what we consume and export more of what we produce. Growth without inclusion is dangerous. It breeds anger, inequality, and instability. China combined reforms with a long-term focus on poverty reduction. Nigeria must do the same by prioritizing job creation in agribusiness, tech, and manufacturing, expanding access to quality education and healthcare, strengthening social protection for the most vulnerable. But none of this will succeed without security and rule of law, strong institutions and real accountability, a serious fight against corruption and waste. People must see and feel the benefits of reforms in their daily lives. One of the clearest lessons from China is the power of well-managed special economic zones. In Nigeria, our free trade zones and special economic zones can be engines of jobs, exports, and technology, but only if we remove unnecessary regulatory interference, policy instability, and confusing, constantly changing incentives. We at Alliance for Economic Research and Ethics strongly advocate removing current impediments discouraging investors in our zones, reenacting and strengthening the NEPSA and OGZFA laws, restoring key incentives that were weakened by the 2025 Tax Act so that our zones can truly compete globally. Policy consistency builds investor confidence, and confidence brings jobs and growth. Nigeria does not need to reinvent the wheel. If China could move from poverty to prosperity through disciplined, people-focused reforms, Nigeria can too. With pragmatic policies, a transformed agricultural sector, diversified, export-driven growth, inclusive development, strong governance, security, and effective special economic zones, we can turn these difficult moments into a launching pad for shared prosperity. Alliance for Economic Research and Ethics (LTDGT) remains committed to providing ideas, research, and advocacy to ensure that Nigeria's reforms are not just theoretical but truly work for the Nigerian people. If you believe Nigeria can rise, share this message. Let's push for reforms that are smart, fair, and focused on the common good. The future is still in our hands.